This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm reunited with JMX today in London. It's been a while since we've been on one of these sit-down interviews. I know I caught up with you before your fight out in Nashville. Oh, no, not in Nashville, out in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's been a while. How you been?
Been good. Yeah, been really good. Obviously, the fight was tough. Very tough fight. But no, I've been working hard since, working on some other stuff while keeping training going. Like, it's been nice to not be training like crazy every single day. So I've kind of enjoyed that, a bit more of a relaxed period where I just, training 3-4 times a week, keep things ticking over, and focus on some other stuff really.
Do you think it was a bit of a shock to the system, all the training you were doing, how full on it was? Because it went from like training a little bit to a loads, then back to a little bit.
Yeah, I think I dealt with the camp okay. I will say one thing. I'm struck, like, because during the camp you had to sleep more, and I got used to 8 hours sleep, and I really can't go back now. It's really, really hard. So my body's just adapted and trying to get back from that.
Well, isn't 8 hours the right amount?
Yeah, it is meant to be the right amount. Yeah, but sometimes there's not enough hours in the day, and but yeah, it is. But no, I think I dealt with the camp okay. I actually had a really, really good camp. And I'm happy with how all that went. Still kind of semi-gassed out, which was weird because I was in like really, really good shape. And I guess it's so different. Like sometimes you just can't mimic what the actual thing is in sparring, even if you're sparring 6-7 really intense rounds. I think the adrenaline is quite hard to match. Despite the fact that I was I dealt with pre-fight really well. Like I walked into the ring and I was genuinely chilling. I didn't feel nervous at all really. I was quite ready to go, but just sort of in the second, third round, I just felt a bit dead, which obviously showed a little bit. I think the first round I had a good round in the first round and then it kind of went south from there. But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to condition for that kind of thing.
Anything in particularly that made it go south? Was it just Levon kind of realising how you box and getting used to it, as happens in lots of other boxing fights?
Yeah, I think the pace that I went out with and the volume and the output that I did in round one, I think as soon as I started to drop off on that, I mean, I think it's not an excuse, but it was quite a small ring as well, and I stopped.
Was it 20 by 20 or?
No, it was
really 16. I was tiny.
Yeah, so it was a 16 by 16, which for a 6'5" and 6'2" guy is like it's on the line of legal, and so that's like it's smaller than what I was sparring in, and so but that just made it. That was just a bit of a disadvantage for me in the way that I fight. And so it was just when I sort of slowed down a bit, and obviously Le'Veon grew into the fight as well. I think he started to up the pace as I started to get a bit tired, and I stopped using my range properly, and I stopped with the output and the volume. That's when it kind of sort of went downhill a little bit. And I think it was more mentally I was tired, not even mentally I was tired. I thought I was tired, so I wasn't actually as tired. Sometimes you've got to get over that mental block. Like even in the fourth round, I kind of came back a bit. And I was still throwing and pushing energy when I was far more dead in the third round. So I kind of had a bit of a second wind. And I think once you know there's only a round left, you can throw everything at it. And then that's when you kind of realize, like, well, maybe I'm not actually that tired. You just sort of like, you have that mental block in your head where you feel, oh, I'm so fucked. Sorry, I didn't.
I can bleep them.
Yeah, okay, cool, sorry. So yeah, it's a sick experience though. I really enjoyed it. I think I obviously took the L well mentally. I was always like cognizant. I had never lost, and so I was aware that potentially a loss could be damaging for my ego and my mentality. But
your overall image almost.
Yes, my self-identity in a way, even though like I'm not a boxer, so it's not completely tied in with how I view myself, but it's inevitably going to be part of it. So I think that mentally was good for me in terms of how I came out of that. I was happy with how I went into the fight. I was super calm, and I dealt with that all really well, which was something in the Ginty fight I didn't. Like I was far more anxious, believe it or not, for that fight. So I was really happy with that. I wasn't as happy with the performance, but then afterwards, like I think I dealt well, and I was kind of after the fight, I was genuinely like, on the Monday I was doing beach sprints. Like I was ready to go back in Cancun. I was ready to go back into it, and then so I've decided that I wanted to focus on business a little bit more for a bit. But yeah, like, so I think that was a big thing for me, being able to deal with a loss, because it's like easy, obviously, to go on and take a win, but it's how you can bounce back from a loss which can really define you. And I think that applies to the rest of life as well. And really considering this boxing thing is it's like for me, it's like a sick, really fun hobby. It's a very intense hobby, but it's fun in the way it's not the main thing that I do. And so I think that's why I like the intense training, because it trains your mind for other things and it builds your character. And so that's another sort of thing where the build up to the fight, and I talked to my coaches and they were talking like, this is like how you deal with this is like, it's basically personal mastery. Like, you're not really going to deal with many harder things than this. And so that was a great opportunity to really focus on that. And then after the fight as well, taking a big public loss like that, albeit to a top opponent, and I didn't get KO'd, which was good, and I sort of put up a pretty decent fight. But being able to deal with that loss, I think, was very important for me.
But I also noticed, I don't think anyone's ever talked about this, was Coach Richard.
Yes.
He was there.
Yes.
How come you brought him in?
So Richard was my S&C coach for the whole camp. So obviously he was Olympic sprinter previously, and he's fucking sick at S&C. So getting my body ready, explosive, powerful was what his job. And he helped me a lot mentally throughout the whole camp. So
I guess that's kind of like a bit of an Easter egg almost.
Yes.
That kind of blew up on Twitter. When it was happening. But for yourself though, yourself and Levon Bell, we'll start with him. Where does he go from here, do you reckon? He's very skilled, he's got a big name. What's his next steps?
I don't know. I'm interested. I don't know if you've heard anything, but I'm super interested to see who he fights next. I do think personally he'll beat most people, and so I got a bit of flack for the loss. But I think all things considered, experience level and sort of my second fight back, I think a lot of people will struggle against Le'Veon, because he is very solid, and he's also just really, really good athlete at the very top.
He's very naturally talented, how he moves and stuff.
And he doesn't get tired, which is a bit long. So I think I don't know where he's going to go next. I don't think Logan Paul will fight him. I think that's what I said before the fight, that there's more chance Logan fights the loser, because I didn't think he's going to fancy it after that. And I don't. So who do you think? Who is a good matchup for Le'Veon? Who's going to take it?
I was going to say, what about Saul Pappy? Are they the same size?
Do you think Saul Pappy will take that fight?
I think that both of them will take it, yeah. Saul Pappy will fight anyone, the right amount of money, I reckon. But then, I guess in America, it'd sell a lot better. Like a co-main or a third from the main.
That would be a good
one. Both very skilled, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be a sick fight. I could back that.
Trying to think, it's difficult when it's that heavy, because 170 is the prime. But you got the Josh Bruckners of the world as well. You've also got... It's one other person. I guess, and then it goes to heavyweight, where it goes Jake the Viking, and that's a bit too far out there. But for yourself, though, who do you reckon's next?
I don't know. I wanted Andy Taylor because I was going to come down 180. I think it was 185. I was going to come down to 185 because I wanted to come down, and I wanted that, but that didn't seem to materialize too much. And also, obviously, I was focused on other stuff, but that didn't materialize. So. I'm not sure. I want to see what comes. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I'm not in a massive rush to get back in. I'm keeping ticking over. I'm working on more technical stuff at the moment to try and improve specific parts of my game that I want to improve. But we're not going at a crazy pace because we're working on some other things too. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to wait and see what opportunities arise. Okay. I mean, obviously we spoke about, I was offered the Salt Pappy fight before. That would still be one that I'd be interested in, especially considering he just had a loss against Andy Taylor. Like I mentioned, I'd love to fight Andy Taylor. I think that would be... Is
the size difference not too much, though, between both of you?
Maybe, but I guess it's weight, right? That's what they do it as. But it is a bit of it would look a bit like a freak show.
Well, that's Misfits, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly. That's true. So yeah, obviously that would be stylistically a good matchup for me, which is why I think I'd be super keen on that one. But yeah, I'm not in a massive rush. I'm biding my time, working on things within boxing and outside of boxing. And I'm just kind of seeing what opportunities potentially arise. But I definitely want to go again. And I think I've got a lot better, and despite losing, I learned a lot and improved a lot from the last fight. Still need to obviously work on the gas tank, but it's honestly, I was so fit. Like, I trained so fucking hard.
What was your 5K time?
It was, I think it was I didn't actually, it was the same. It's around about the same, so it was 18:10.
Oh, that's still pretty quick then, 18.
Yeah, still quick, but I wasn't focused on so much on 5Ks. It was more like I was smashing hill sprints. Like, there's this crazy, I don't know if you've ever been to Greenwich Park Hill.
No.
But it's fucking lethal. And,
it's like Box Hill almost, how steep it is.
Yeah, it's like a sort of like 45 seconds really steep hill sprint. And I just do like 10 of those, 12 of those in a row, but like all out. And then loads of other stuff. But basically, I was crazy fit. I was like, I'm going to be fine. And then I was like, after a second round, I was like, oh, I'm stuck, I'm fucked. Sorry, that's going to be a lot of bleeps there.
It's all right. No, when I interview Dean, I've interviewed him a few times. He's always like a good 50 bleeps in there. I'm not exaggerating these ages. So 1 or 2 doesn't seem like anything. Before I let you go, though, let's get your thoughts on a few more fights.
Yeah.
They got the they got the, I guess, quadruple threat match, the fatal 4-way, haven't they? Survivor tag.
Does it work last one to get knocked out, basically? Is that how it works?
Well, it starts off with 2 people in the ring.
Yeah.
One person on the outside, the other person on the outside. And you can tag someone into the ring, but you can't tag the same person twice in a row.
Yeah.
And if you refuse to go in or you take a knee, then you get out.
Okay, so
and there's 4 or 6 rounds, I'm not sure.
Last man standing.
Yeah. But there could be like 3 men at the end.
Yeah, okay.
So
you could just keep going. Okay, interesting. That's going to be sick. No, I'm excited for that. I don't know.
You got B Dave, Swarms, Nick LMAO, and then Ryan Johnson.
Nick's good.
Yeah.
And
he's Happy Punch as well.
Yeah, come on, represent. I think Nick or Swarms.
Yeah.
Maybe both of them at the end.
But then he gets a hand raised.
I thought you said, does someone have,
there's one winner.
Do they have a point system?
Yeah,
okay, I forgot that. So there's one winner. I think Nick.
Yeah.
I think Nick's got it. Yeah.
I guess it makes sense to have him or Swarms as the favourite, I guess, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They've had the toughest fights.
I don't know much about Ryan Johnston.
No, neither do I.
And then B Davis is solid. He's like a proper swinger. I love that, but I think Nick and Swarms might just have a little bit too much.
Do you think they'll all make the end, or do you think a couple were knocked out or stopped?
So 6 rounds or 4 rounds?
Let's say it's 6. It should be 6.
It's 6. No, I think 1 or 2 might. I think 1 or 2 might get stopped. I'd say 6 rounds.
It will look bad. It might look bad on Misfits if it's like 4 at the end. I guess you want a few to get stopped.
Need a couple. I mean, last man standing would be how you really do it. Imagine you just do unlimited rounds and it's just keep going until there's only one person left. But no, that probably is not good for the governing board.
The commission.
The commission, no. Yeah, I reckon.
Makes sense. It's good though. Do you like all these kind of freak show matches? You fond of them?
Yeah, I do. Like, I'm not like, the maddest boxing purist. So I think they are super entertaining, right? And that's what Misfits is about. So, no, I really like them. I think they should definitely keep doing them. I'd be down to do one of those. That would be fun as well. And it kind of like...
Who would be your partner in the tag team?
Oh, who would be my partner? You know what? I could partner with Le'Veon. Since we had a great fight, we partnered with Le'Veon. I don't know. I don't see many people beating us.
Who would you... Then against the Paul brothers.
Against the Paul brothers, I'll take that. Yes, me and Le'Veon versus Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Considering they're probably not going to fight either of us. Or Logan won't, to be fair. Jake has no obligation to, but Logan's been ducking. Logan was saying he would fight the winner. I don't think he's going to fight Le'Veon. I don't see that happening. I hope he does, because that would be good. But yeah, that would be good. I'm down.
One more thing I do want to get your thoughts on before I do let you go is the what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Well, what makes sense is because for the Dean the Great fight, he's got a tag team, and he's fighting OJ Rose and Kimbo Slice, and they fought against each other before. And Panadra and B-Day, they fought each other. They're a tag team. So I guess it's storyline-wise, it will make a lot more sense. But against Logan and Jake, or I guess who else could you fight? It's difficult. It's difficult because there's so few fighters in the whole roster.
Especially at like sort of that 190 level, there's not so many. So I'm trying to cut down a little bit of weight. But I think eventually I do want to go. I'm going to go down and wait for a couple of fights, and eventually.
What weight is that?
Well, I think I can get a 175, but I think it would be. it take time to build to that. I have to get real skinny. But then I think eventually after I do that, I want to go back up and just say screw it and go to heavyweight and just fight like Chase Moore and everyone.
Yeah.
And then just that is like in my twilight zone. Like I just then I can just drink beer and like just have massive scraps with heavyweights.
What weight is heavyweight? Is that 200 pounds?
Over 200 pounds, yeah.
Wow.
So which is not that hard for me to get to. Like before, I was there before I did the boxing for the Ginty fight. Like so I trained for a while. So 6 months before that, I would have been easily heavyweight because I spent like ages getting whammed, and I was like, had to lose all the muscle. So I've just been like yo-yoing kind of. But I would like to get whammed again basically and just sort of have big slogfest at heavyweight.
Well, maybe do that next. I'll have one more fight, then do that next. You never know.
Yeah, you can't go back though, right?
Yeah.
So that would be kind of like what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
like,
right. You can't. Yeah.
You can spare, well, you can, but it's just long. Like you don't want to gain loads of muscle to lose it again. So I think after I've really gone as far as I want to go, or had given it a proper shot at the lower weights, then I think. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
There was no YouTube video or any Fight Night blogs or anything coming out soon. I know you did the response video, but there's no like Fight Night video coming in soon or anything like that.
There's not, unfortunately. No, I didn't. I was just focused on the fight. My creating content is not my speciality these days. But I do need to get next fight. I'm definitely going to get a lot better with it. I'm just going to hire a team and get that sorted because I just don't have time to do it myself. But no fight day vlog, unfortunately.
I remember the one last thing I want to ask you about is Gibb versus Jarvis in Dublin. Yes. You're definitely going?
Yes, I'm pending.
It's the 15th of June.
Oh, they've moved it now?
The 15th, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, so I'm obviously going to go support Gibb. That means I should... 15th of July, you mean?
Sorry, but 15th of July.
It was like 5 days ago. We missed it, shit. Yes, in that case, my passport will definitely be here. That's the day after I have to move out, so that might be a bit...
Wait, where are you going?
No idea yet.
Oh, really?
No, I haven't decided. I haven't decided. I just haven't sorted that out. Let's not talk about it. My mum and dad have already given me grief about that this weekend.
You still in London?
Yeah. I think we'll stay around this area. I have to move out of this flat because they're selling it or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sucks. But no, I think Gibb will take Jarvis out. I think there's no way he can swim in the deep waters in the late rounds. I think Jarvis is solid, but I think just as the rounds go on, it's 6 rounds you mentioned before we spoke here. I think you just won't be able to deal with him. Right. No way. I
remember it's really funny you mentioned that because I saw a video on TikTok and it was from Gibb for Jake Paul.
Yeah, alright, let's not talk about those. My predictions for that one were a little bit off, but
that's so funny. You have the reaction because everyone has that reaction when you mention it because everyone is so like Gibb team Gibb.
We were so into it. No, that was. I tell you what, it was a very depressing Miami trip.
And people say they don't want to go back to Miami because it brings back those memories.
I just remember the day after we were all sat around the table, just like so deflated.
Who was on the table?
It was like Harry, Cal, Max, obviously Ali, everyone. It was very, very sad. It was a very sad day. We went home quite quickly after that. Were you
planning to stay out after?
I can't even remember. We would have likely stayed out longer, I think, if he had won or gone somewhere else. But it was just, one of those mood killers. It was like when Conor McGregor lost for the first time. I don't know if you're into MMA.
Diaz, yeah.
But when he lost back then, when he lost to Nate Diaz, it was like 5 a.m. I just remember all of us, we were like staring at like the sun coming up, like just, this is so depressing.
It's like, what is my life realization moment?
My life? Exactly. So we're not going to get that again. Gibbs going to take him to deep waters, and Jarvis is going to show some promise, but I think he'll wear him down, and then he'll stop him pretty late. That's my prediction.
Well, the reason I bring up the Jake Paul one is I was on TikTok and I was just scrolling, and there's a video of you guys. I think it was at the pool party. No, they called it a pool party.
Yeah.
It was a press conference.
Yes.
And you guys were all jumping in the pool when it got told off.
Yeah. That was the press conference when I first met Logan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I can't remember. Yeah, we got screamed at for jumping in the pool. That was a good time. That was a sick press conference, to be fair. Like, I don't know why. Misfits needs to copy that. To have some pool party.
Yeah, well, the Ibiza one, hopefully.
Yes. That I'm going to be at one way or another. Maybe I'll fight, but most likely just have to go to that one.
It's the one where you don't really want to fight on that one.
No, don't really want. That would suck. Although it'd be a good after party. It would be a very good after party.
Let off all the steam.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's our last interview at this house, so...
It is.
Will the next house be nicer?
I hope
if you can get nicer than this, so it's pretty nice. Very, very good.
I don't think it looks very nice from here. So this is a humble house, guys. All right. But yeah, no, it should be nice. It should be bigger. I think I just need a bit more space. So
yeah, come on, blimey. It's a great view as well. I was thinking to get like a pool in your house. That's like a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, in the house we have a pool downstairs,
Oh, you
but
do?
yeah, we have a
Oh,
pool
okay.
downstairs, but not in the flats. In London, a pool in your house. There is actually one. I show it's like round there somewhere in the skyline in Canary Wharf. It has a pool
Wow.
in the Penny, and it's nuts. So, but yeah, we're not moving to that one, unfortunately. Not.
A few more fights and then.
No, yeah. I think I'm not sure the fights will get there. I think we need to get our businesses really going, but then soon come. Soon come.
Awesome, Joel. Thank you.
Great,
Appreciate it.
Great to see you again, Fred.